Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to this episode of Semi-Pro. I am Dalton Barrett. Joining me today is Joshua Clements and Daniel Savage as we sit down and watch Scooby-Doo from 2002 on this episode of Semi-Pro.
No one has a flat bottom. Everyone's got a little bit of cake.
the Bobby Hill bottom.
Would you guys just not talk while I'm doing the intro and then...
What do you want us to do? Just sit here in silence?
Yes.
If you had us... No, because if you had yourself unmuted, at least we could listen to you.
Yeah, but
and
you
then
would just
we'd talk over. Yeah, of course we would. But we're going to do that either way.
All right. It's time for Scooby-Doo 2002. I love this movie. I don't know when the last time I've seen it was, but I know it can't have been that long ago.
Yeah, definitely under 5 years.
Yeah, I think I watched it for Halloween probably 3 or 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Megan watched it for the first time. Well, I had seen it. She hadn't. Scooby-Doo 2002. I mean, what can we say? Why are we doing this? This is a classic.
Yeah.
I mean, we're just doing this because we want to watch Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
El Scooby-Doo.
Even though there's rarely any reason to the things that we do on this godforsaken show, there's even less reason to watch Scooby-Doo. It's not even like, there's a new Scooby-Doo movie coming out. That
there is.
Well,
there's actually legitimately a reason. There's a TV series that's on currently.
It's not a Scooby-Doo show.
I do not want this. I do not want this episode to be associated with Velma.
No, it is. This is the Velma special. We're watching. Did Dalton not break the news that we're not watching Scooby-Doo 2002? We're watching every single episode of Velma.
We're actually tricking you. Like, this is one of those things we do where
every single episode of Velma, and then all of the behind the scenes for Velma.
Yeah.
And
yeah, but none of the behind the scenes stuff with Glenn Howerton, because you didn't do that. And then we cut all that.
I'd be making Always Sunny references throughout the entire thing.
Right. Yeah. No, I can't do that.
Yeah. No, it's Scooby-Doo.
So does Velma actually, like, the show? Does it not have Scooby-Doo at all?
No. The dog Scooby-Doo.
There's a rumor. There's a rumor.
Oh, there's a rumor. They're building to it. They're building to Scooby-Doo.
No, there's a rumor that next week, Shaggy is going to get a love interest.
And it's going to be Scooby-Doo?
And it's a woman named Scooby with an I.
Man, get your ass out of here.
Keep in mind, take this with a grain. Take this with a grain of salt, because Josh told me this like 2 weeks ago.
I read this like 7 weeks ago. There's like no chance it's actually true. It's one of those things that
unless it happened and we just didn't, and nobody watched it.
It very well could have happened.
There's a good chance.
Because no one has seen the show.
Yeah, I think it's just one of those things that people make up so that like they have something to be outraged at. I don't think it's true. I think they'll go through the show and they'll not have any Scooby in it. Maybe like the finale will hint at Shaggy getting
I think the final
I just
shot,
looked it up.
Hold on, here's my prediction. The final shot of the last episode of Velma, it'll be Scooby.
For Scooby-Doo. This is predictions for Velma.
Yeah, this is for Velma. It'll be Scooby's paw hitting the ground and like the dust, and then it hands up and it shows the SD collar, and then cuts
and then Black
and then it gets canceled and it doesn't get a second season.
And then The Rock voices Black Adam as he stands next to him.
Yes.
Wow.
Don, you said you looked it up. Is there any validity to this, or was it just someone making something up?
No. It is. Velma has been rated, or has on both IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes. It is the lowest rated animated series of all time.
Man, I don't even think it can be that. Like, it can't be that bad, can it?
I don't know. I don't even want to.
I don't want to find out.
I'm confident never finding that out. But
right, except for we're watching the full series here today.
Right,
all right,
correct. Yeah,
so
I forgot we're recording right now.
Yeah,
I forgot.
I predict this will be better than Velma.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Oh man, that's a real hot take, Dalton. Be careful.
I will say
that this will be one of the 2 greatest Scooby-Doo movies ever made. That's what I think. That's my prediction.
I will say, not only movies, I think this first movie, this first Scooby-Doo movie, is one of the best Scooby-Doo things.
Yeah,
Period.
no, it's some of the greatest Scooby-Doo media ever. Like it's peak Scooby-Doo.
I think
Speak Scoob.
I think this is going to be a James Gunn written Scooby-Doo movie.
All right.
Yeah.
So we're gonna pause it. We're gonna watch Scooby-Doo 2002, and then
We're gonna watch Velma.
Wait, no.
and then we'll be right back.
Yeah.
All right. We'll come back. We just finished Scooby-Doo, the first Scooby-Doo from 2002. Wow.
I'm already sick of this.
Yeah.
Right, restart the podcast.
Nah.
All right,
we're not
podcast
restarting.
canceled.
We're not restarting. We got video now. We got to do it in one take.
We always do it in one take.
Yeah, but now we have an
Why
excuse.
it's so bad?
Now,
Right.
now we have an excuse.
And no, we have less of an excuse, I think.
Nah.
Right.
No excuses.
So yeah, we watched Scoobert Doobert.
That is true. We did watch Scoober Doobert.
Possibly the best movie ever made.
Daddy's Home 2, I think, still has a standing
Yeah.
above this one.
Yeah, I told Dad
Genuinely speaking, I would rank this in terms of because we while watching, I don't know if we compared it to the Turtles movie in our intro, but we compared it to it a lot while watching it.
right. Well,
And I would rank it just
It has a lot of similarities. They both
yeah.
have a singer in it who is named after a bakery item.
They both have a large animal that wears human clothing.
That's
That is
true.
very
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
That's about it. No, they're both adaptations of a pretty beloved. Was there an animated series before the 90s one? There wasn't there?
What?
Are you talking about?
Are you talking about Turtles?
Yeah,
or
I'm talking about the Ninja Turtles, not Scooby-Doo. But
yeah.
I don't remember.
Only the most
No.
famous version of the Ninja Turtles came before the live action movies.
No, he means the 90s animated series.
Yeah, there
Or
was
was it-
no
no,
90s
80s.
animated series. There was an
Right,
80s
okay, yeah,
animated
so
series.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
they're both adaptations of pretty beloved animated series.
Right.
But for children, and both movies were made with a darker R rating idea in mind.
I don't know
They
that
got
Turtles
cut
was
back
supposed to
being
be
PG-13.
R-rated, but
I
it
don't
might have
think
been-
R. I think it was supposed to be like PG-13 originally, and then it was cut to PG.
It was meant to be edgier than it
Right.
ended
And
up.
this was never intended to be R either. Josh was just it was probably
no,
all
this
meant to
one
be
was
PG-13.
this one
Was it
was
actually
intended
meant
to be R. Yes.
Ah, interesting.
That was
okay.
I don't know if
intention.
it intended to be R, but it did get rated R, and then they cut a load of stuff from it.
Right.
Well, it was James.
Theatrically-
It was all right.
theatrically, it was just PG theatrically. Like it wasn't even 13.
No,
was it?
well, the screenwriter was James Gunn in 2002.
Correct. Yeah,
This is the
right,
James Gunn
yeah.
that got modern James Gunn fired from Marvel for 6 months. It was supposed to be R-rated.
Yeah.
Well,
No,
that's the other thing. This movie is so horny. Just
It's
all
not
over.
as bad. You see, you said that at the
It's-
beginning, and it's really not. There's like 2 or
Yeah.
3 scenes in the whole thing.
I think I just always remembered it being horny when I watched it as a kid because I was horny watching it as a kid. I mean, when Scooby-Doo came out on that dress, how could you not be, dog? Come on.
Yeah, when he walks onto that plane,
When he smooches Fred on the cheek, man,
When-
I'm so jealous.
When Shaggy goes, "No, Grandma, don't eat the kitty."
Bad grandma.
and yeah.
Oh, I
this
keep
movie-
forgetting that the
everyone
faces
knows-
I'm making at just you two is going on the video podcast now.
Yeah.
No, Grandma, don't eat the kitty.
It's my favorite part of doing a video podcast now is that occasionally I'll see Dalton doing something dumb, and then I'll see the moment of realization
Yeah.
like 30 seconds later where he goes, "Oh, people can see this."
Yeah. Unlike me, who is physically incapable of feeling shame.
But yeah, this movie is a love letter to the animated series that came before, while also managing to build something new. It's the kind of perfect blend of doing an adaptation that keeps the heart while also making it its own thing. To the point where Matthew Lillard is Shaggy now. Like he is
straight up.
Yeah, straight up. Now, I will say something interesting because Matthew Lillard has voiced Shaggy since this movie came out in everything except for, I think, Scoob. He was Casey Kasem's definitive replacement. And he's been the best version of Shaggy since Casey Kasem. But he's not doing the same voice in this movie that he did in the cartoons that came after it. So either like he kind of perfected it over time or he toned it up for the cartoon or whatever. But that was something I never kind of expected. They don't do the full-on Shaggy voice here, which is good. They shouldn't do that because that would be annoying and obnoxious for, 2 hours.
Yeah.
But it's perfect.
So to do the voice in this one, what he would do is he'd basically scream for like 20 to 30 minutes straight so that he could get that like the raspiness. And then he found out that didn't work, so he tried to mimic the raspiness that he got from in between screams.
I thought that's what he did for the audition. I know when he auditioned for this role, he wanted it so bad that in his car outside of the studio, he screamed until he lost his voice to get the role. I know that's true because I've seen him talk about it.
He based it off of. I remember just reading that he based it off of him when he lost his voice at some point from screaming.
Yeah, so he
screamed
outside of the audition office until he lost his voice, so that when he went in for the audition, he could do the Shaggy voice better. Which I mean, perfect cast.
Imagine being in the parking lot and
you just see some
you see Matthew Lillard sitting in his car going, "Ah!"
Imagine being the guy on his way to work. And you just, you pull in, you've had a rough morning, you had to wake up early, you get out your car, and you just see the guy from Scream screaming at his car at the top of his voice, and you're just thinking, man, what am I in for today? Or imagine being the guys, the casting director or whatnot, who are just sitting there auditioning people, and then outside the window, they just hear some random dude screaming.
They look out the window, and they see, like, the windshield, and they just see him going...
And it slowly gets like more and more fogged up. Can't see him anymore.
They just think, average day in LA.
they say,
pretty much.
Yeah, this is normal for us.
They just think, is that one of the guys that we just rejected? Whoops. But yeah, I mean, everyone in this movie is so fantastic, and we find that out from the opening of the movie. Which is
this the best cast movie of all time? Is this the best cast adaptation ever?
Possibly,
it's gotta be, right?
People argue
either this. I was gonna say Diary of a Wimpy Kid could be a contender, but this is like
this is better.
That's easier to cast. Yeah, but that's the only thing I can think of that like
people argue
truly, like every single one perfectly nails it.
People argue Henry Cavill Superman. That's a good cast.
Handsome white guy. Who cares?
Right. I don't think there's as good of a cast.
That's the thing. Like characters like a character like Superman is not hard to cast.
Right. You just need a chiseled white guy.
Correct. Each one of these specific characters isn't necessarily hard to cast, it's hard to cast to this specific perfection.
I guess you could argue maybe Bill Murray as Garfield was a good cast, but I
prefer Chris Pratt. I've not seen it.
I think
my ass does not give a shit about Chris Pratt Garfield.
I forgot about that, honestly.
Bill Murray as Garfield was a really good cast, but
that one was pretty great.
But he didn't care. He phoned it in. At least everybody in this cares. I can't think of another cast based off something else. The voice cast from Ninja Turtles 1 really rivals this. But it's a separate voice cast and body cast.
I mean, the fact that we watched all 3 Ninja Turtles movies and there were multiple people who like crossed over from one film to the other. He
specifically said the first.
I did. I said the first.
Give him some credit.
Right. But like, yeah,
I mean, it's fantastic cast, and like looking at each of these individual actors.
I got one that rivals it. The 2004 Fantastic Four cast rivals this cast. It's the only one that even close to rivals it.
But the part of it that loses it for me is Jessica Alba.
Jessica Alba and fucking.
See, I don't even mind Jessica Alba.
Blondest,
the whitewashed Jessica Alba.
Right.
I mean, even then, I think she's still pretty solid in that movie.
She's not bad, but it's just like it.
Should we do Fantastic Four sweep?
I think that's somewhere.
Yeah.
I think
that was on the original list, but that's been disbanded.
We got Scooby-Doo from the original list.
I
At
guess
some
that's
point,
true. I don't know, man. We're
I know at some point
we're
we said
running on
we were
fumes
gonna
at this point.
we were gonna watch Fantastic because there's that's why I've stayed away from ever watching it, so that when we eventually do get to it,
That's
it'll be
why.
the
Is
first
that why you haven't watched
that's
Fantastic?
why.
All right,
That's why.
all
Yeah.
right. We've
yeah.
talked. We've talked for long enough.
Fan Four Stick is unironically good.
We've talked for long enough. Let's get into the plot.
Yeah.
So
Eunice,
the
we're
movie-
fucking recording. Fuck off, God.
well,
Eunice, we're recording. Leave. No, you can't keep removing him because I need to tell him. Otherwise, he's just gonna keep doing it.
No, don't worry. I just
so the
server
plot of
muted
this
him.
movie.
I just
The
server
movie-
muted him.
The movie begins with the gang going about one of their mysteries at the Wow Toy Factory or something.
Yeah, it doesn't matter,
Yeah.
but keep going.
It was it was Wow Toys, and the O was a like screaming clown face.
Yeah,
Definitely.
that's right.
Daphne's been kidnapped by a ghost who flies in through the window. They're setting one of their traps, one of the Fred classics, and
Oh, I forgot. Eunice being on this is gonna mess up the whole video portion.
Oh, god damn. Eunice, we're fucking recording. Can you fuck off?
Hold
I
on,
will
let me just.
kick you from the whole server. I swear to God.
I timed him.
I'm not unmuting you.
He's in timeout for a week.
All right. All right, cool. Cracked. All right.
Man.
So Daphne's been kidnapped. She's floating through the air. The ghost, which I can't believe they named a ghost after my cat. That's kind of weird. He's kidnapped her. Cracked special effects for 2002 on the lunar.
It's the
ghost.
only special effect in this
effects in the
movie.
movie.
It's the only special effect in the whole movie that looks remotely great.
No,
Yeah.
also the floating heads. Those were also pretty good.
Yeah.
we were saying, oh wow, these look really good, and then you see Scooby.
Yeah, and you're like, oh!
Yeah,
I don't think
as
Scooby's that
as
bad.
these- Like I think it could just be. It could be a couple things. It could be the nostalgia goggles. It could be.
It's the nostalgia goggles.
It could also be the low quality frame rate of watching this movie over Discord. That could also
Right.
That could
Right.
affect it, yeah. No,
Yeah.
Scooby looked. The design was great. The
Yeah, the
design was as
design-
good as the design could
design's that
possibly
perfect
be.
midpoint between cartoony but realistic.
Yeah, I haven't
Right.
seen many like cartoon to live action designs that have looked as good as this one.
Mhm.
The CG is not as good, and it doesn't
Yeah.
move great,
No.
and it doesn't talk great.
It's not, however, as bad as the demon monsters. Of which there
No,
are a
I don't
million
think
of
there
in this
has
movie.
ever been a special effect as bad as the demon monsters from this
Yeah.
movie. Maybe ever.
like
Right.
yeah.
Well, we'll get to the
Like,
demon
yeah,
monsters.
Scoop.
That was genuine. I
before-
just said that.
Like,
Before-
yeah, man. Like, yeah, Scoop. Let's go get ourselves some Scooby snacks.
Before the demon monsters, we see Mystery Inc. break
What
up.
a horrible
because-
segue.
we see Mystery Inc. break up because they catch the ghost, but it's one of the usual things where the plan doesn't quite go according to plan, and Scooby and Shaggy mistake their
And
way
Jessica
into-
Alba's there.
No, it's not Jessica Alba. It's Pamela Anderson.
Anderson.
And Pamela Anderson's there.
And Sugar Ray is there.
They they catch the ghost. They
Yeah,
fly
no,
into
Jessica
London.
Alba.
Ice is there.
Jessica Alba is from Fantastic Four.
Correct. Yeah.
That's how I got there. Pamela
It's not
Anderson's
even
there.
Close. It's not even close to Pamela.
All right, they're
Nah,
blonde.
they're both-
They're blonde, famous people from 2005. Or 2003. Who cares?
None of those are the dates of this movie.
Well, this one's 2002. Fantastic Four was 2004. 2003 is the midpoint between the two.
Shut up. God.
The movie, Pamela Anderson comes crashing through the wall in the mystery machine, and Fred takes all of the glory for creating the plan.
Because
That
it was his.
ends up.
Because he did it.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, not
Velma
really,
did it.
though.
Velma did it, but he's the one who.
I
Everyone
mean,
flocked
okay,
to.
no, neither of Shaggy and Scooby fucking did it. They're the ones that
Well,
were on the
they're the
skateboard.
ones
They
who
did.
actually
Now, I will
crashed
say,
into them.
Shaggy and Scooby also ruined the plan. So they can't really be credited with anything because they're at fault.
I mean,
I'd love to see.
I would argue they kind of all ruined the plan, other than Daphne, who was just kind of there.
Well,
but Fred fucked
kind
up
of.
too, and he knocked over Velma.
No, because Shaggy and Scooby, they get knocked over because the ghosts saw Shaggy and Scooby because they were cutting up in the barrel. Shaggy and Scooby ruined the whole plan.
Yeah, but they also are the only reason it succeeded. So
that is true. That does buy them a few extra points, but they also ruined it in the first place.
I think that's kind of the point of their whole dynamic, though.
Right.
Is that
the whole Mystery Inc. dynamic as a whole?
It's teamwork. All right, I do a tremendous amount of teamwork.
I think Coolsville sucks.
I think Coolsville sucks.
No, next time, baby.
I do a tremendous amount of teamwork. It's such a baller line.
Yeah, what a banger line.
We are 20 minutes into this discussion and have not started on the plot.
We are still in the cold open.
The gang breaks up.
Oh, we forgot about the Warner Brothers logo that turns into the Scooby-Doo.
Oh yeah, the Warner Brothers logo turns into the Scooby-Doo logo, and it's epic. Yeah. Oh, and that's after Scooby takes a bite out of the Warner Bros. Logo, and he goes.
And then so the Mystery Inc. breaks up, and then it's the coolest shot in the entire movie.
First there's the sad shot of Scooby-Doo pawing at the back of the window, and it's like, oh.
Yeah,
and then it's the hardest shot in the whole movie because you cut to the Mystery Inc. Smoke pouring out of the top. I mean, just pouring out of every crack of this place.
And
cuts to the inside.
It's primo.
And they're both giggling and laughing. And then it pans down over Smoke, and they're grilling eggplants. So great. It's so perfect.
Peak cinema.
Yeah. Martin Scorsese was talking about this movie.
It's a shame that James Gunn peaked so early in his career.
It's true, honestly. I'd put this up against anything else that he's ever written.
Whatever he announces in the DCU will never be as good as this.
Shit. James Gunn's going to make a Superman movie. It's not going to be as good as Scooby-Doo 2. I'll tell you that much.
That's true.
But
banger.
We see that Shaggy and Scooby get an invitation to a mysterious island, and they're like, I don't really want to go. I can't be bothered. Until the messenger talks about how he's got unlimited food. And Shaggy gets a unlimited
power.
He says unlimited weed.
Correct. Yeah.
Unlimited primo.
Whilst they head to the airport, they run into every other member of Mystery Inc. who've all moved on. Fred's written a book. Fred on Fred, The Many Faces of Me.
Yeah, he remembered the name of the book. I could have never.
Velma went on to do rocket scientist stuff or something.
She works on the nuclear missile defense system.
For NASA.
And then Daphne learned MMA in her time off. It's been 2 years since we last saw it.
More importantly than any of this is that every single one of them is wearing a
jacket.
Same outfit. Yeah, well, a jacket, but they're wearing the exact same. They all have like different haircuts, other than Shaggy for obvious reasons. But they're all wearing their exact same classic cartoon clothes, except they have a jacket of their corresponding color over, and it's cracked. And Shaggy has the drippiest.
Yes.
How would you classify that jacket?
Leon Kennedy.
It's like a Leon Kennedy taxi driver kind of jacket.
Well, it's like a Sherpa inside.
It was
brown, tan outside.
It was like an army kind of jacket. I don't know what the phrase for it. I want to say cargo jacket.
I have one. Mine's in black.
I have one that's that same color, but it's not Sherpa like that.
Yeah.
And Scooby rocks up in his iconic outfit, Mrs. Doubtfire.
Correct. Scooby rocks out in his classic outfit. My first sexual awakening.
Man.
He manages to sneak past TSA in that, and they board the plane where Shaggy meets the love of his life, Mary Jane.
Yeah.
I suspect that he has loved Mary Jane for many years before this movie.
Yeah, so did the movie.
She's sitting next to them, and they have a wonderful time. Scooby tries to kill a cat, and they fly off to the island while Shaggy goes, look, what's he say, Dalton?
He goes, bad grandma.
Don't eat the kitty. It's my favorite line from the whole movie, actually.
And then they go to Spooky Island or whatever it's called.
Correct.
Where there's a load of...
That's the name you just said.
It's the name of the movie, actually.
No, that's Zombie Island.
Right.
Then it's a whole like island that's themed around spooky roller coasters and whatnot.
Yeah. It's a
They
horror
get
theme
there
park.
and they meet Mr. Bean.
Mr. Beast.
Beast?
Mr. Beast. He probably does on his own island. They meet Mr. Bean.
Honestly,
who-
probably. Where does Mr. Beast get his money from?
He makes money on every YouTube video and then spends it on the next one, apparently.
I don't think I
but-
believe him. I think
But
inherited
it must have started. Yeah, it must have
Yeah.
started with like.
I think he
generational wealth
got
or
a fair bit of
something.
money during like when Bitcoin was a big thing.
Mhm.
Like I think he called early on that
Is
stuff.
Bitcoin not still a big thing? I don't keep. up
Nah,
with
it's not. It's
stuff.
Yeah,
crashed.
I don't know.
Bitcoin has crashed.
I thought cryptocurrency was all still big. Huh?
Too rich
Right,
for my
yeah.
blood.
Too blood for my rich. Third. My
And
Richard.
he
So back
talks
to Mr.
Mystery Inc.
Beast.
and he tells them how this island reforms college students who come here drunk and rowdy and getting up in everyone's faces, and they leave by throwing people that they know across the entire island,
Right.
Yeah.
being
Trying to move my
calm and
straw out of the
collected.
camera. But it is. It's out of the camera. Cool.
It's not.
It is. It is on the. It is on the video. Not on. Not on
Cool.
here.
All right. Cool.
From here, Mystery Inc. does what Mystery Inc. does. They split up.
Yeah, they do split up because they hate each other at this point. So
Yeah,
makes sense. It tracks.
Velma goes to see a ritualistic guy who talks about the history of the island, I believe.
Mhm.
And
Yeah, Orlando
gets a
Bloom,
phone
who never
call.
pays off with anything.
no, it's Steve-O.
No, yeah,
Yeah. Now Orlando Bloom. That has
Steve-O
payoff.
and the
He's-
wrestler.
Well, it paid off in that they did it, but it didn't pay off in any other way.
Well, sure. Yeah, but it's you know.
Where does Fred go
whatever.
to learn?
He
I don't know.
goes,
I think we kind of cut Fred from this part of
He
it.
goes, "What up, dog?"
Yeah,
And,
well, no. The next time we
dog.
see Fred is in the
In the
roller
car.
Yeah,
coaster.
he
Yeah,
shows
Yeah,
up.
we see
He
Daphne
goes.
go
I
to-
followed some mysterious footsteps.
yeah. Everybody else is like, I did my research to get here, and Fred's like, I followed some footsteps.
we
Right,
find
basically-
out that they
basically
all
Fred just followed them there.
they all did a bit of research and ended up at this mysterious castle on the island.
How did Shaggy and Scooby get there? I don't know.
Daphne
went there
got
from
them,
the
yeah.
Voodoo Man, who she
Right.
goes like,
Daphne
you wouldn't
goes
have told me
and
that if you
gets
didn't want me
Shaggy
to
and
not go
Scooby.
up there.
Yeah, well, because this is when is this before or after Scooby gets the phone call that was not
It's
from Mel to do?
after.
After, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Shaggy, there's a phone call at the bar, and the guy who has an eye patch, he goes, I got a call for a Mr. Dew here. And the guy stands up and he goes, I'm Melvin Dew. And he goes, no, it's for a. Oh, no, he flips his eye patch up and he
He
goes,
takes the eye
he
patch
takes the
off.
eye patch off and he goes, no, it's for a Scooby. And then Scooby goes and takes the phone and he goes, hey, in the woods, I got some hamburgers.
Yeah, I got
for
a
ya.
bag of free
I
hamburgers
got
in
a
the
bag
woods for you.
of free hamburgers for you. And then Scooby just goes to get him.
Yeah, well, he's a dog, you know. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I probably
he's
do
a
that
hungry
now.
dog. He probably hasn't eaten all day. You
He's
know?
a smart dog.
Right.
Keep in mind,
Yeah.
Scooby Doo is a smart dog. He can talk.
yeah, yeah.
But he wants
I mean,
hamburgers.
I can talk. That don't make me smart.
I can talk.
He's been on
I
the
can
plane
talk.
all
I'm
day.
still going into the woods to get some hamburgers.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Hey, if someone called me right now and said, "Hey, in the woods down from your house, there's a bag of free hamburgers," I'd be going.
Oh, my ass would be in those
Free hamburgers?
woods.
I know
No,
Josh
you
should
know
be
how
going.
rare-
Josh should be going to keep them in his closet for a year so they mold.
That's not me. That was incompetence.
That's a deep cut. That's a semi-pro deep cut. We'll get you to explain that on one episode of the podcast.
Yeah,
That'll be
Keep
the-
going with the
the
plot. We got to
podcast
keep
will
going.
be-
We're halfway through and we're just at the beginning of this movie.
It's fine. There's not tons to this movie. It's not like there's a lot.
We're at the
Admittedly,
beginning.
that is, there's not much to talk about.
No, it's a
but
very simple plot.
there's
it's
just
very simple
it's weird because the plot is simple, but there's also so much happening. Like, so it's so easily to get distracted talking about it because every
You could
scene
focus
is
on
just
any one scene for like
fun
20
and
minutes.
interesting. Yeah,
It's such a great movie.
and
But
also we're
anyhow,
all autistic.
right. All of the members of Mystery Inc. end up at this mysterious castle where they then get separated again. Scooby and Shaggy go to the dining room where they get assaulted by sausages amongst other meat and get dragged into the wall that has vaginas that have like aliens that crawl out of it and try to eat them. Daphne gets
all vaginas.
Which you guys presented as a normal threat. I assumed was just part of the ride.
I think it is, but it's also like they got caught in a part of the ride that they shouldn't have been got caught on. Because
Right, but
they should have got caught. Yeah,
the animatronic chicken on the wall cannot actually hurt them. It's an animatronic.
No, but the Fred and Velma get trapped in that room with the
Fred and Velma
axes.
get trapped in an actual threat. So does
No, but
Daphne
the
because she's running towards swords.
But the vaginas had teeth.
Yes, that's true.
Much like all vaginas.
They got trapped in the room with axes that wouldn't have hit you if you were on the car because it's timed that way. But when you're just like free roaming, anything could happen.
Right, but the chickens on the wall can't hurt Shaggy and Scooby. They're animatronics.
We don't know that.
But they had teeth.
They're made of styrofoam.
But they had teeth.
Yeah, they had teeth.
I hate you both.
Velma and Fred get thrown into this control room. Daphne gets impaled by a roller coaster cart and then taken to the end of the ride, where she wanders off and meets Scooby and Shaggy, who have found the kitchen where they are having a burp and fart off.
Correct.
She meets both Shaggy and Scooby, who are found dead.
Scooby has been found dead in Chicago. They have an extremely cracked moment where Shaggy burps, then shakes it up, drinks it, and then farts it out.
And it's a great sound effect.
First he did the reverse burp, which was honestly more impressive than anything. He did the
and then he goes
very impressive.
Right as Velma walks in.
He starts a fart and gets startled by Daphne until his fart goes meep.
Yeah, and he stands up and it's like a little
it goes
squeaking noise.
But
right.
it's and just so then they're all together and they run and they hide, disguising themselves as part of the ride, which is like their statues,
right.
whatever.
There's
and then hold on,
who's sounding an alarm that people are in this area.
Yes. And then Shaggy has the coolest fart sound ever, and it goes.
Yeah, because he's in a metal suit of armor, so he farts and it's got like
and it goes
echo and reverb to it.
And he lights a fire that's behind him.
And for whatever reason, because I should say at this point, when I was a kid, I had several VHS tapes, and I would watch a lot of them multiple times. One of them was Rugrats. I don't remember which episodes of Rugrats. Several episodes of Rugrats. A couple episodes of the cartoon of Scooby-Doo. Spider-Man 2002 and this movie. Spider-Man 2002 and this movie got the most plays out of me. And I mean like all the time. I would watch these movies so often. That fart sound effect is in my brain forever. But there's an echo on it. I can't do that with my voice. It's
and it leads
there.
into a song.
Yeah, yes, and it's so the opening sting to a song. It's so good.
This movie is
so
cracked.
It's like genuinely, it's in my brain, stuck forever.
Man, this podcast is like really fun when we're.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it's also fun. Like last week was fun when we were watching a horrible thing. And 2 weeks ago was fun when we were watching a horrible thing.
What do you mean a horrible thing?
And 3 weeks ago was fun when you actually hopped on when we watched a horrible thing.
We haven't watched a horrible thing.
Well, yeah, we haven't watched anything horrible.
Actually, no, that's live. We've watched a load of M. Night Shyamalan movies.
Yeah, and the second two Turtles movies and Karate Kangaroos.
Okay. Third Turtles movie cracked.
Yeah, it was better than 2, but that didn't make it good. It was fun because we watched it together. All right, keep going with the plot. We are 33 minutes into this, and we got to be done in an hour.
They have a giant party because it's a party island. Why wouldn't you? Where Fred goes to reassure everyone that there are no demons, even though Scooby swears he saw a demon.
Oh yeah, well they go to the little it's like it almost feels like a hotel lobby.
Yeah. But they're all having they're all having some drinks, some dancing.
Velma gets flirty.
And then they get attacked by demons.
When they were in the haunted place, Daphne finds the triangle.
Yeah, she finds the triangle from Knives Out Glass Onion.
Just the triangle.
Yeah, like the musical instrument.
like the silver piece of shit that you just go ding.
And it's the one from.
It's a musical instrument, Josh. Show some respect.
And it's the one from Glass Onion, A Knives Out Mystery.
Right. So what
Right.
you're saying is Ryan Johnson ripped off James Gunn.
Yes, for sure.
Right,
Nice.
just like George Lucas ripped off James Gunn, as we'll find out.
Correct. Yeah.
Right.
'Cause they're both
This scene is where we see the demons in full light, and I wish we didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, genuinely, I wish. The demon looked bad in the woods too. I wish that they had done better at concealing it.
The woods was also like brightly lit as fuck.
Yeah, well, the woods looked bad because it was Scooby-Doo interacting with the demon, and that looked bad. And then this looks bad. I wish they had done the demons in like darker.
It's so comical because it's like it's meant to be comical. But that's not the reason it is, because Fred's like, oh, there's monsters, and then one of them shatters through the glass behind him. And it's like, that's the first time you really see the full body of one of them, especially in like bright studio-looking lighting. Like, oh man.
Well, yeah, it's so brightly lit, and you can see how fake it looks.
And then immediately after, it cuts to two more of the same model.
Yeah, they are all the exact same CG model. There's no
not even like a tiny little, like one has like a scratched ear or a scar.
Nothing.
Just straight up same model.
And everyone runs. Scooby escapes by giving one a pedicure and then vanishing in the smoke trap.
And then he walks on his tiptoes and he goes.
He does a Metal Gear Solid hide in a box.
Right, yeah, he hides under a suitcase and the monster lifts it up.
And while he's walking on his tiptoes, he goes. Then we cut
to the next. Then we cut to the next morning, and Daphne, Scooby, and Shaggy all wake up.
Yeah, well, no, they call the. Is this meant to be the Coast Guard?
They call the Coast Guard and fall asleep on the beach, and then they wake up to people playing volleyball, and they're like, "Is that the Coast Guard?" And
that's what Shaggy goes. Is that the Coast Guard?
The Coast Guard are evil. It establishes that the Coast Guard are evil demon monster men, because it shows them look at each other with evil faces, and it's got this evil green lighting, and you know this guy that looks kind of like Tim Curry. He's evil.
Hey, well, you know he's evil, and then he goes.
Right, then he does the Tim Curry smile.
He looks like the guy who played the young Joker in Batman '89.
Joaquin Phoenix.
Heath Ledger.
We cut to the next day. We cut to the next day. Mary Jane, Scooby, and Shaggy go do a bit of exploring.
Whatever his name is, last name Montgomery from Gotham.
Cameron, and
it's not Montgomery.
It's not Montgomery.
It's like Montague. Wait, no,
Cameron Montague.
It's Monahan.
Cameron Monahan.
All right, I'm sorry, I don't know this. Anyways,
Mary Jane, Scooby, and Shaggy go for a ride off somewhere in the island, and Scooby realizes that Mary Jane is a demon because she has a giant rubber face.
Yeah, and it's the face I see every time I see her face.
It's the face of my sleep paralysis demon.
But this is after they walk up to Fred and they go.
And he goes,
"Fred,
what up,
man?
dog?"
What happened?"
And he goes, "Yo, I was doing this and that. What's up, dog?" And then Scooby goes,
"We had the beats. They was off." And he goes, "What up, dog?" And
"What up, dog?"
And then Scooby goes,
"Keeping it real,
ripping it real."
Correct. Yeah.
But
and then Sugar Ray goes,
Scooby,
and I'm you, and I'm you, the best I
like
can.
Dalton's like, "Hey, run through the plot," and then he'll spend 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But sometimes
shut up.
It ain't that easy. Also, on the island, everything has fixed itself from the previous night. Like all the windows are fixed.
Yes.
All the building is no longer
There's no
burning.
evidence that there was ever anything happening.
Right, it's fixed completely. Yeah.
And
which they never really pay that off, but that's okay.
It's just like, it just means that everyone on the island's kind of
it's demon magic.
Right.
Scooby drops down a hole and disappears. So Shaggy.
Yeah. Well, after Scooby-Doo goes rakes about some four-wheelers.
Correct. Yeah.
And then,
then he says Mary Jane is a man in a mask.
Yes, he goes, Mary Jane is a man in a mask. And Shaggy repeats, in this scene, Shaggy repeats everything he says so that we can understand it. Because Scooby goes, wrong. And he goes, no, your mom eats dog cat food. And it's like, it's great. I like it. I like that bit a lot.
And then he dives in a hole,
Your mom
like
is-
comically.
Yeah,
Head first.
into the hole.
like a cartoon character.
Even though Mary Jane
and-
tries to get him not to because she's possessed by a demon.
Right. And he finds,
she talks in a man's voice.
he finds in these caverns a giant portal pit filled with souls that are swimming around each other.
Yeah.
Which
And the second best effect in the movie.
Dan rightly said would make you absolutely question every part of your beliefs of the world.
Yeah, I said if I were Shaggy's position and I were already paranoid stoner, and I go down and I see the soul hole, I'm ending it.
The thing is,
Yo, who taking a dip in the soul hole?
I'm doing that same comical dive he did earlier right in there.
well,
It's
up
like-
until
it's
this point in the
legitimately-
movie, everything is played somewhat realistic. Like there's some goofy stuff. There's a talking dog, sure, but this is the first scene in the movie where it's like, oh, this is not normal Scooby-Doo. This is not something that could happen in real life. Yeah.
It's like Eldritch Lovecraftian horror.
Yeah.
But
Whatever, bro. Whatever, bro.
Or it's more of a generic demonic possession movie.
Or it's the
I've
live
just-
action Scooby-Doo
I've just been on a really
movie.
big Lovecraft kick recently.
Why would you ever admit that?
I love Lovecraft horror is great. Watch Cabinet of Curiosities from Guillermo
Josh,
del Toro.
shut up and keep going. with the
My
plot.
ass does not want to see anything from the mind of Guillermo del Toro. Let me tell you, I do
Nah, he
not
just
want to
hosted
see
it. People-
inside that
people-
man's mind.
Other people direct it. But he looks into the soul hole and he finds all of the members of the Mystery Inc.
Of the
and
mystery
they all look
machine,
like-
he finds the engine. He finds the
They
fuel
all-
pump.
They all look
he
like
finds the
absolutely
hood.
horrible
He
CG
finds the
heads.
catalytic converter.
He finds the spark plug.
I remember the
He
CG.
breaks the tip off one of the spark plugs so he can keep it in his car to throw at people when he has road rage. So he shattered their windows. Pro tip for you road ragers out there: get some
He
spark
finds the
plugs, break the
hubcaps.
end off them.
He
He
finds
found a
he,
white wall.
he finds the members
He
of Mystery Incorporated.
he stole the license plate so he could keep driving.
And he pulls them out one at a time, and it shows them as giant, as small CG heads. That
Which
look
I liked,
horrible.
you guys didn't like. I thought it looked great.
No,
I
the
remember
effect-
them
the
looking
effect
good.
Was fine, yeah. What Josh
I remember
said when
them
we
just
were watching it
looking
was true.
really good, and they
yeah.
did not.
I like it.
I think my thing is, so when I watched this movie as a kid, I was never able to as a kid, because I've got like a weird thing with faces where I could like never really tell different actors from each other. And it was especially bad as a kid. So I never registered how those faces looked like the people they were meant to be.
Did Lane you say
But,
the
like,
effect
they-
is really good, but the
the
face
Velma
is just-
one.
the Velma one does not look like it doesn't look human.
Well,
the
the
Velma
Velma
one
one,
is-
doesn't look like Velma because her glasses are off, and it's the
Not just that,
faces.
I know what Linda Cardinelli looks like without glasses. And
Well, the
it's not
faces
very
are also
Hawkeye.
a mix between the faces are
Yeah,
also
it
a
was
mix
just this-
between their regular faces and their cartoon faces, and
I
so
don't thi- I-
between
you say that, I don't
I think
think
it's just
it
bad
looks
CG.
like. I think it just looks like that with the Fred one because Freddie Prinze Jr. so much like cartoon Fred.
Because Freddie Prinze Jr. is a handsome white man, so
Right.
because Freddie Prinze Jr. is me.
But Shaggy releases all of them into their souls, and they realize that the demons can be destroyed by sunlight.
Yeah, just like Josh.
They also don't go into the right bodies.
I
so
appreciate that you
they have
liked
to
that
play
one,
switcheroo.
Daniel.
that was a good
All right,
one, man. I
13
really
minutes
liked
to wrap this episode up.
that. We just got to the body switching. Okay, body switching. I'll speed run this. Fred's head is going towards his body. Then his body walks into the door, slams into the door, bounces till he finds Velma's body.
You're
Velma's
giving
with,
so
or
much
no,
detail.
He finds Daphne. Daphne's with Velma. He goes. He feels up his body, and he goes.
I can look at myself naked. All right, Josh, continue.
That's
Yeah, I
it.
just wanted to say that part.
They switch bodies until they get into the right ones, and they realize that something's going on the island, and Scooby-Doo is the part that's to keep
You're
it. 'Cause They need
forgetting.
to sacrifice Scooby-Doo to whatever this soul hole is, so that they can fulfill their plan of taking over the world.
You're forgetting the part where Shaggy in Daphne's body goes, Daphne, what's the matter? Do you never eat?
Yeah, Daphne has an eating disorder. That's
you're forgetting Daphne having an eating disorder.
Right. Correct. And then, so they hatch a plan to try and stop everything, but as was the case with Scooby-Doo plans,
they hatched a baby?
Dalton, we only have 30 minutes to wrap this up. Also, 13. Dalton.
It's down to 16 now. I mean...
Wait, what?
Huh?
I thought was it 30 or 13?
It was 7. It was 17.
We can't let Dalton keep time of anything now.
We're at 44 minutes, which means we have 16 minutes left.
So they hatch a plan. The good perfect soul. The perfect soul is Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo is getting sacrificed.
Right. So that they can use the demons to take over the world and make everyone part of
and
their
it's
cult.
What's his face? The guy who's in charge of the island, Mr. Bean, who sounds like Bane.
Yeah.
And so they hatch a plan.
Does anyone remember his character's name? Because I've been trying to and I can't.
It's like Mr. Montague or something.
It's not that, but it is something. It's something similar where it's like a big, sophisticated sounding.
Yeah,
Montevarious
or something.
Montevarious sounds.
Yeah, I think that may be it. Montevarious.
Yeah, Mr.
Montevarious. Yeah, Montevarious.
Right.
So the plan goes
Scrappy-Doo.
Shaggy launches into a member of the cult.
I spoiled.
What's Don doing this face for?
I spoiled the movie. I spoiled the movie. I said Scrappy-Doo, and then I went,
damn it. Shaggy launches into a guy, and
I did it again. I did it twice. I spoiled the movie twice. All right, sorry.
Daphne gets launched up to the surface. Fred and Velma are left on the ground, just having to cope. And
Steve, ratio.
The cult is at this point that the cult enters the room, but they are singing and chanting this song.
What the people say.
So they all start dancing. Shaggy, Fred, and Velma all start dancing. Shaggy knocks out the guy that he previously threw into.
Because he's doing his little dances after stealing his uniform, and he's like doing little kicks, and he does like the backwards elbow. And then afterwards, he's like walking. He
rubs his elbow,
and he looks at the guy, and he's still knocked out.
Yeah, and then he does a little like fist pump. He's like, yeah.
And then at the end of the song, everyone in the cult points towards Fred, who's just doing his own dance and just like
he's doing the electric shuffle.
Correct, yeah.
And he talks about how everyone's forgetting the last verse.
Right.
Which is when Mr. Montevarious reveals his great plan to sacrifice Scooby.
Lord have mercy.
Lord have mercy.
He brings out Scooby, who's on like a chair being carried by 4 guys, including Shaggy, who's like, "Hey, Scoob, I love you. You're my best friend, man. I've always loved you. You're always going to be the most important person in my life."
No, he says, and who's Scooby's best friend? And Scooby goes, Raggy. And he says, and who's Shaggy's best friend? And he goes, Ruby-Doo. And I'm like, there's a tear streaming down my face. I'm like, oh no, not Shaggy and Scooby-Doo. He goes, but Raggy, I'm a rock rice. And Shaggy goes, no, Scooby, that's like Zoink, Scooby, that's a bad thing. Actually, they're gonna kill you. That's what a sacrifice is, Scoob. And Shaggy saves him. Except for no, he doesn't. Scooby gets his soul pulled out of his body.
They have this heartfelt moment, and then Scooby starts to get his soul sucked out.
Yeah, well, and then there's the cracked scene where his head, blue CG head pops out, and what does he go? He's like, I can see myself.
He goes, look at me.
He goes, look at me.
When we're just talking about him, when you're not watching this movie and we're just describing the plot of this movie, it sounds so insane. I would love to have somebody listen to our plot breakdown who's never seen this movie before.
Yeah.
Maybe Shaggy wasn't the only one who was high during the making of the movie.
Yeah, James Gunn was too.
So while this is going on, Daphne is wrestling a wrestler who's been on the island. He's a big buff guy. She's wrestling him on the surface.
He's a big guy for you.
He's a big guy for you. He looks like Bane from Batman and Robin. And she eventually throws
Is it the
him
same
down
actor who plays Bane in Batman and Robin?
I don't think so.
Honestly, it could have been.
It looks his body
I feel
looks
like the guy
the
in
same.
Bane, or the guy in Batman and Robin was jacked. But I guess that could have been more in his prime. It was like 5 years earlier.
Yeah, but this
he was
guy's
more
pretty
like-
jacked.
Yeah, but
I
I it was just like, I don't know. He was. I feel like Bane in. I guess maybe Bane had some.
It wasn't the same guy. The guy who played Bane was a guy called Jeep Swenson.
Nah, bro. What's his real name?
His name is Jeep. Oh, he died in 1997.
Wow.
Rest in peace. So
Pat Hingle played Commissioner Gordon.
Yeah, I knew that part.
I'm
Good
aware.
time. Good on him, man.
Did that.
Definitely throws not Bane down the hole that she
Wait,
flew up
hold
in.
on.
And
hold on.
he lands in the Pillar of Souls, and everyone's soul
Hold
goes
on.
back to them and reveals the demons. But it's
The
daylight,
little
so all the
kid
demons start burning to
who
death.
played Santa
No,
Claus's son in the Tim Allen Santa Claus movies.
I don't care.
All right, he played Bruce Wayne in Batman Forever.
Who cares?
That's wild.
No, that's actually that was actually
That's
no,
Val
that was
Kilmer.
Val Kilmer. Yeah, sorry.
That's crazy. Eric Lloyd, the kid from the Santa Claus movies, played young Bruce Wayne. I didn't know that.
Wait, Jake Lloyd from going schizophrenic and stealing a car?
I think they're
Whatever.
brothers.
Man, I wonder if he got
God.
bullied like Jake Lloyd did.
I hope not. I
I hope not. I feel so bad for Jake Lloyd.
I like fully read like into that the other day.
It's awful.
That
It's
makes me
very
like
sad.
depressed. Like I already hated Star Wars fans with like a burning passion.
Yeah, and
Even
then
more so now.
they bullied Ahmed Best to suicide as well. Like,
Yeah, well, he
Yeah.
didn't.
well, he didn't.
He's
kill
still-
himself,
he's
but
still alive.
He did,
No, but
I think, either attempt or consider it.
he
yeah.
he said that he like regularly thought about it during
Right.
the peak of
Basically, Star Wars fans are awful.
Yeah.
But Scooby-Doo 02 is great. So all the souls fly out. No, they fly out of the.
hate. All the souls fly out of the
They go into
pool.
their proper
9
bodies.
minutes. 9 minutes, everyone.
The demons hop out, but they're in the cave, and then the
Because it's
disco
daylight
skull-
as well.
No, the disco skull.
Yeah, no, but it's also daylight, so the
Correct,
skull
yeah,
gets shined on
disco
by the sun.
skull, and it reflects, and it's cracked. And the plan, in perfect Scooby-Doo fashion, the plan works, but it's not the way they intended. It was after the plan messed up. And it's cracked, and it's great, and it's awesome.
And then we find Mr. Montague, who is
Mr.
lying on the
Mr.
Mr. Montague, who is lying on the ground motionless, kind of like twitching. And they go,
Yeah.
something's not right about him. And they pull off his face like a mask. And they say, it's like a mask. And
And it's
It's
a
like
robot.
it's an animatronic skull. The chest then opens, and it's Scrappy-Doo, who is in one scene, like he's in one throwaway scene earlier in the
like
movie.
random. What was even the
Well,
context? of that? I know
no,
it
they
was
set him up.
talking
Velma
to-
was telling like the her past to her boyfriend. Like
Right,
it is
yeah.
set up. So I will
Yeah.
say.
Right, it's odd that it's
It was,
in
it
one
was set
cutaway
up, and
scene.
it was set up in a subtle enough fashion that you wouldn't be like oh this it's obviously this character who hasn't been in the movie,
Right.
but set up.
And
Right.
except
Like,
for
it
the
was-
fact that I've seen this movie 10 billion times since I was
Correct.
6.
Well, yeah. Obviously, I knew Scrappy-Doo, but I'm trying to look at an uninformed viewer's perspective.
Right. It was Scrappy-Doo!
Yeah.
and then Scrappy-Doo.
Puppy power.
Puppy
Scrappy-Doo's like,
power!
Yeah, I did all of
He,
this because I
pisses
hate all of you
on,
and I want to kill Scooby, my uncle.
Right, but in the flashback, he pisses on Daphne
Yeah.
to mark his territory.
Well, he
and that's
doesn't
the real
just
line.
do it because he wants to show the gang up. He does it because he wants to be in charge of the world because he's a control freak.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it comes down to. Like, it's not just I want to show up the gang. It's I want to control the entire world. Because the outcome of the ritual that they're doing, if they didn't defeat Scrappy, would have been these demons walking the entire planet, not just this one island.
Right, it would have been worldwide domination, and he
Correct.
got to kill Scooby-Doo.
Right. Yeah, I don't know that killing Scooby-Doo was as big of a part of it. I think Scooby-Doo was just the only reason, because the only reason Scooby-Doo had to die was because he was a pure soul.
He had a pure soul.
Right,
Yeah.
I don't know that Scooby
two
killing-
birds with one stone.
Yeah, but I don't
And then-
know that he wanted to kill
I don't
Scooby-Doo as
think-
bad
I don't
as you're
think-
implying.
I don't think Scrappy-Doo had any beef towards Scoopy.
Scoopy.
Well, he didn't like Mystery. He didn't like Mystery Inc. because they kicked him out because he kept peeing.
Yeah,
on,
but I don't
yeah,
think
'cause
that
he was
was
an
the
asshole.
Yeah, I don't think
think
that
he
was
understood
the
that.
motivation of him in this movie.
Yeah. I mean, I admittedly no, it was a little bit because that's why he.
Otherwise, why should have seen?
Well, because it introduces the character who's the bad guy.
Yeah, we just established that.
But the after this, he just for some reason turns into the Hulk and like
because he's absorbed the bodies.
Right.
And what's his name from the end of She-Hulk? He turns into that guy.
Yeah.
Todd.
Alan?
The guy from
Todd.
Hulk.
Let's see Paul Allen's Hulk.
Let's see Paul Allen's Hulk. Yeah, he turns into the Hulk, and they very easily defeat him. They just they get a giant crane that's in there.
I mean, it's kind of easy, but it's not like super easy.
I mean, it's pretty easy.
It's resolved within 30 seconds. Of
Shaggy has to learn how to operate a crane.
Seconds. Right, but we don't see the struggle, is what he's getting.
I guess that's true.
Yeah, I need to see the struggle to believe it.
That's what they say about me. Yeah.
They pluck open his chest where he's absorbed all the souls, and they all get released. And then Scrappy-Doo becomes good old little tiny Scrappy, and Scooby smacks him into a wall.
His head is the last thing to shrink, so there's a scene where
there's a scene where he's wearing the Ender Dragon mask from Minecraft.
Correct, yeah. Oh, and then Scooby-Doo slaps him.
And then Scooby slaps him into the wall, and everyone's like, "Hey, you saved the day!" And then we see the real Mr. Bean, who's been kept underground this entire time.
The real Mr. Beast,
Jim and Beast.
Jim and Beast. And he's like, "Oh, thank you very much for saving me."
5 minutes.
Everyone goes off, and they.
Wait, no, first he goes to hug Shaggy, and Shaggy makes a pulse face. Like,
Matthew Lillard he goes. As if it's the most disgusting thing he's ever smelled in his life.
Because the man has been down there for.
I get it, but it's funny improv acting on Matthew Lillard.
Yeah, no, it's great. It may not have been improv. Rowan Atkinson may have just smelled shit that day.
That's true.
Maybe he's a method actor. Who knows?
Probably.
Yeah, I'd have to believe it.
I don't think he ever spoke when he was playing Mr. Bean.
However, at the end of the day, the Mystery Inc. gang comes together again, and Fred goes, "Hey, it wasn't teamwork. I wasn't the teamwork in this one. It was actual teamwork." And he gives Velster
That's a direct
credit.
quote from the movie.
Yeah, he hands
I wasn't teamwork. It wasn't teamwork. I wasn't teamwork in the movie.
Yeah, that's what it says.
And then he looks at the camera and he goes, "I think Coolsville sucks."
And they all go off to have another adventure at the end.
Yeah, another adventure, which we will talk about next week on Semi-Pro.
Coolsville sucks.
Yeah, I can't wait to say that a billion times. Oh, also, there's a song in this movie where the soundtrack goes, "You remind me of a man. What man? The man with the power. What power?"
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I love this movie. This is an all-time favorite of mine, even from when I was a kid until now. This has always been and always will be a favorite movie of mine. I just can't. Maybe it's nostalgia. Maybe it's just the greatest movie of all time. I absolutely love this movie.
Yeah, very, very well said. I couldn't have said it better myself.
I really don't. I don't know.
It's by all means kind of a perfect movie.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of. Yeah, definitely kind of.
It's definitely a movie.
It's like I could watch this a million times and
Josh
never
just
get
watched
bored.
Scooby-Doo.
That's my thing. Like,
That's true.
I couldn't get sick of this movie.
Right. I didn't when I was a child. I watched it so many times. I think this movie has the same thing that the first Turtles movies have, or the first Turtle movie has going for it, where there's like this super interesting tone that you just don't see anymore. Mm-hmm. And I love seeing it this movie, and I love experiencing it throughout this movie. Oh, the cast is completely perfect, but also they're completely bought in. The director cares with some prequel shots. The screenwriter certainly cared. Everybody cared when making this movie, which is rare on something like Scooby-Doo.
A lot of heart and.
It's also got the thing that the first Turtles movie had, where because it was made with a edgier tone in mind and then refitted after the fact to fit a more kid-friendly tone. It's got like a lightning in a bottle kind of you don't really see any movies like that anymore. Like every movie now, it's either made the way it's intended to, or it's so far gone from what it was intended to be that like it loses every aspect of what it was, like Suicide Squad.
Right. I'm very intrigued to see how
Another
next
James Gunn film.
I'm excited to see
I meant
how
the David Ayer one.
I'm excited to
another
see
James Gunn film.
how next week holds up against this one. But I don't know. The thing that is so interesting to me about this movie is, number one, I don't think this movie would ever exist today. Like this movie would never. There would be too much behind the scenes, whatever, with the studio for this movie to ever come out. They tried it with Scoob, which we're gonna watch in a few weeks. Ever,
yeah.
But is this the best live action version of a cartoon to ever come out? I can't think of a better one.
Be, right?
I can't think of a better one.
Not in the aspect of this is the best. It can never be done better. But just like I can't think of a single thing that does it better than that.
Yeah, straight adaptation.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I can't think of one that's better.
Yeah, genuinely no.
I mean, unless you count Turtles. The first
that's
Turtles.
A comic book, though.
Yeah, but that's original. A comic book.
It's also that wasn't like adapting the animated series. That was like trying to do its own thing based off of the same source material. This is like
you got what? You got Yogi Bear.
Yeah, I guess.
But Yogi Bear wasn't good. You got Garfield.
Yeah, Yogi Bear 2, on the other hand, that comes close. But
one day we'll get that movie made.
You got Garfield 2.
Right.
I Tell It to Kitties. But no, I genuinely
Garfield
can't.
was also a comic strip originally, wasn't it?
I can't think of a single cartoon made live action.
Mr. Bean. That's my one. Is the
Mr. Beast?
Was Mr. Bean a cartoon first? I thought Mr. Bean was a cartoon after.
It might have been.
I think it was a cartoon after because they used like Atkinson's face as the Mr. Bean cartoon model.
Right.
There's only 8 episodes of Mr. Bean.
Yeah.
Only.
No, I can't think of one. But
no.
I don't know. I love this movie.
Scooby-Doo 2.
I always will love this movie. Like there's nothing Velma. This movie is what made me love Scooby-Doo as a kid. I have the love in my heart that I have for Scooby-Doo because of this movie.
Yeah, and I'm grateful to this movie because
this movie
mostly for giving me my love of El Scooby-Doo, the funny little talking dog who goes,
and Matthew Lillard. I wouldn't know who Matthew Lillard was if not for this movie. Yeah. And I love it when he pops in. Yeah, right. Like I don't know. Same with Freddie Prinze Jr. Mm-hmm. Like I would not know who he was if it weren't for Scooby-Doo 2 or Scooby-Doo.
Yeah. Right.
But yeah, no, I really do. I love this movie. I love everything about it. I love Scoobert. Dubert.
I like when they call him Scoobert.
Yeah, same.
I really like that.
I remember Josh got real mad when the new trailer for Scoob came out, or when the first trailer for Scoob came out and his name wasn't Scoobert. Josh was like, everyone knows his name was Scoobert.
I mean, that's true. That's everyone knows.
By it.
Yeah, no, Josh is right for that.
We'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there in a few weeks.
I'll bring that up again when we watch Scoob. I'll bring that. I'll be the bring that.
We'll get
His
there.
His name is Scoobert Dubert 2.
I would recommend to anyone who can and wants to watch this movie. If you haven't seen it in a long time, or if you've never seen it, this movie's great. If you like Scooby-Doo, Daniel, real quick.
In this movie, what are you doing?
Daniel, real quick. Recommendation.
Watch the movie, even if you just watched it last week. Watch this. See the movie.
Josh, recommendation.
Scooby. See the movie.
Yeah, I love it. I really do. I love this movie. Next week we will be watching Scooby-Doo 2.
Next week, I'm
Monsters
Coolsville sucks.
Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed, and I'm gonna leave you with this.
Sucks.
I'm gonna leave you with this. Lord of mercy. Ow.